Welcome to the Daily Coffee Pro by Mapper Forward, friends. Today on the podcast, we are following on from the last two episodes where we talked about the branding of coffee and the value of coffee. And now we're going to be asking the question, should we be charging more for a cup of coffee? This was a discussion topic that we presented and had a lot of discussion around at the most recent Sydney Coffee Town Hall. And this is particularly interesting at the moment where we're seeing a number of businesses close as a result of an industry that operates on razor thin margins, that once stress tested heavily by a pandemic, we haven't had much of a cushioning that allows us to survive longer than we could have. And I'm sure that's going to be a controversial statement for some people, but it's true. And on this podcast, we don't shy away from the truth. So in my hope that in the long term, we can start to create businesses that look for a 15% net profit margin as opposed to the 3% net profit margins that we're currently looking at. Remember, a net profit margin means the amount of money that you're left with at the end of the year once you've paid all your cost of goods and all your operating expenses. The profit that you're left with after that is what your net profit is. And currently our industry runs on an average of 3%. And that's because of a bunch of things. First of all, our industry is saturated. Second of all, we've got a lot of people that are running businesses that don't quite understand how to run businesses. Third of all, wages have increased and our ingredients have increased across the board. Fourth, it's become more expensive to open a cafe. But the fifth reason is the most concerning, and that's what we're here to talk about today. It's harder and harder to increase the price of a cup of coffee. So here I am asking you, should we be charging more for a cup of coffee? Now, before you can answer that question for yourself, you need to do what we did in the last episode, is understand the value behind the product that you're offering. What value do you add to your customers? Now, if you can identify the value points in what you offer, you can start to translate that value into something that draws the right customers to you. So if your product is more convenient, if your product is tastier, if your product is healthier, if your product delivers on ambiance, the experience, all of these different types of things that your customers may want, if you can deliver on that, you can translate that value into a price increase. But the messaging has to be right. The other thing that you need to do is understand your profit and loss statement. Together with that, you need to do a cost breakdown analysis of what it actually costs you to produce a cup of coffee. All the different kinds of cups of coffee that you offer. In the US, a cup of coffee is a cup of batch brew. In Australia, coffee can be anything. So you've got to define all the different coffee products that you offer and do a cost breakdown analysis. And the cost breakdown analysis is understanding what your COGS are, your cost of goods sold, and figuring out what it costs you to run your business, figure out the percentage of your operating costs, what it costs you to run your business, and assign that percentage to your product. That will give you a general cost breakdown analysis for your product, and then you can look at what you're currently selling it for. And I think once you start to do that, you might get very, very surprised at how small the margins are for a cup of coffee. And once you start to understand how small those margins are, you'll be able to start to justify why you should increase your prices. If you're paying a fair price for coffee, if you're paying fair wages, if you are paying all your bills, you will start to come to see that $4 is a ridiculous price for if all of those things are being taken care of. Now, what you will see when you do start charging a fair price for coffee, that you'll probably sell less coffee. I want you to be okay with that. If you are selling more coffee, if you are selling less coffee at more profit margin, it will balance itself out. You won't lose all your customers as long as you provide the value that you have told your customers, or the value that your customers expect. And that value needs to come from the experience that you're providing them, the quality of the product that you're providing them with, and making sure that what you're delivering lands every time. No more faking it. If you want to increase your prices, you've got to go through the process of defining what the value is and making sure that you're delivering every time. But knowing why you're increasing your prices comes from doing your homework around your profit and loss statement and your cost breakdown analysis. If you need help with that, that's what the mastermind groups are there for. Reach out, head to mapperforward.org/group coaching. If you need a consultant, you can hit us up also on our website, mapperforward.org/contact us, or hit us up on social media. We are here to help. I wonder, are you going to increase your prices? Let us know. Peace, love, and peanut butter, friends. Have an amazing rest of your day.